what? Holding your breath, and PNF is just the basic, just as we're doing stretching on our clients, they're giving a resistance. So they're giving a voluntary contraction. They're forced to contract a particular area that may be bothering them, whether it's their hamstrings, their glutes, their quads, whatever it may be. You can do it all over the body, neck, shoulders, back. This doesn't involve breathing, but you do want to make sure that your client is breathing through it because it can be painful. So PNF is one of the simplest ones. It's done even in just basic stretching when you have an assisted partner. So you have to have someone. You can do PNF actually on yourself if you have a band or some sort of help with resistance. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it like that. But it takes a lot of practice with it because sometimes your mind is not able to catch up with the actual pain. So it's easier when someone is actually performing it on you to really get the actual outcome. And so I'll show you a little bit of PNF, and then we'll go through what PIR kind of goes through when holding your breath, because you're going to have clients that can't hold their breath up to 10 seconds, so anywhere from 6 to 10. And same thing with holding the stretch and contraction. You're going to have clients that don't hold their stretch for up to 10 seconds. And so we'll start on this table. I'll go, the tightest person I saw was PJ, so we'll start on him. And I'm going to do the hamstrings on him first. Go ahead and PJ, lay down. Overtime. The best way to really engage and see where your client is you have to have an assessment first. And so I simply will, if PJ said he's just tight in his hips, but I want to assess his hamstrings and quads, I'm going to have PJ lift let's start with this leg. You're going to lift it the highest you can without moving, because keep yourself to the table. So relax. Yes, up to the side. So that, go back. Just do it regularly. Don't show off. Just do it as much as you can. Without pain. Yeah, no pain at all. That's as high. But if you notice as he's doing it, what's happening to this leg? So that is not comfortable for him. He's even shaking. He's even trying to figure out how he can stay this high. Relax. Right there is normal for him. Because now this is relaxed, this opposite leg. He's still shaking a little bit, but he's not. So this is where I'm going to start. Because him here, you're taking his head. Sorry. He's not relaxed. He's shaking, he's swaying, he's putting more strength in the opposite leg. So relax a little bit down, all the way. And so we'll start there. The idea is to get him to at least here, optimal, right? To get him above. Many people are skeptical of this and they don't think they can do it, but you can. You can do it in one session if I really want to. So I like to kind of move around. He's already been stretched out, hopefully by Heine, because Heine did a great job on stretching him. So if he wasn't stretched already, I'm gonna do some shaking, some moving, some compression through the leg just to warm up the tissues. You need to relax. Dead body. And take some deep breaths. I'm living dead body. Come on this one. So I'm going to help him bring it back up. And I'm going to take it to where about I feel restriction. So right about there. Then I'm going to stabilize myself. Sometimes it's putting your shoulder if you're shorter. Sometimes it's just applying your hand. He is going to contract and engage his hamstring or just leg in general and push down. So he's going to give resistance. His foot is going to try to go down to the table. It's going to be maybe about, I'm going to start off with 50% for him pressure down. Sometimes you want to, depending on the person, they may have to do full strength down because they're just so tight. But I think 50% 2% for him is going to be okay. This is just PNF, so you don't know breathing, just make regular breathing. Regular breathing. So PD, think no one's in the room, it's just me and you. Okay? So relax. Relax. There you go. Sometimes I have to like shake them up a little bit because they are helping me more than helping themselves. And so, ready? So you're going to go ahead and press down, and it's going to be up to 10 seconds. Go ahead. 1, 2, go. No, press down.
Okay, sorry.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit more next time, okay? That's okay. So we'll go higher. Just already, he's already having a little less. Go ahead and press down. 1, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Yeah. Ready? This one you're going to give a deeper press down. Yes. Don't push me or kick me off the table. Ready? You're going to go. 1, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5,
360.
This will be the last one that I'm going to do. Ready? And go. Harder. Press down. Press down. Press down. Press down. And relax. So this is where I took it. You do it yourself. Pick it up. No, the other one. This one. Yeah. Easy. Well, he does bring still a little bit.
No shaking.
No shaking. But it's easier. He's got from here at least to at least here. A little bit at a time, and each session is going to get better. So you can do it in all directions too. You can do it in all directions. If he was having a hard time lifting, this would be obviously the substitute of it, where he presses down and out. It's also going to engage this section too, so it may release even more. So I'm going to have him do that as well, because it may increase that range. So Ben, you're going to kick out like this, okay? Ready? Go ahead and push, push. Want to see how far you can go. So that alone, that one time, should increase even more, a little bit more. He is mentally, he's having this leg help him. Yeah, and that's why he's shaking. So this opposite leg may be a little bit less. So let's bring it this way.
Well, that's what our body does when it's like overcompensating
Go ahead and lift.
for tight muscles.
And this is without holding breath. So when you're holding your breath, that one is shown to even higher. So just as high as you think you can hold it.
Without shaking?
Yeah, without shaking. There you go. So right there. And you can probably get a little higher. The other side. This one, I like doing muscle energy because they don't have to be undressed and you can still get muscle work, but then it also assesses in a way that you know where to focus on with your work. So you can have them do this in the beginning. You're really having enough, if you have enough time for assessment, have them do this muscle energy stuff, and then get them on the table and work in specific areas. So whether you're done, your tools, your hands, whatever. Okay, we're going to bring it up, just right about there. And PG, you're going to press down for 10 seconds, okay? So you yourself, as a therapist, have to get your body right and in a good angle. Because if you're just holding it simply just like this, it's not going to be effective for them, nor for it's going to hurt you later on. Go ahead and get in and press. Relax this side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Sometimes you don't have to bring it all the way down. You can just bring it enough where you shake it out and bring it up. It could be a little faster if you decide. It's really your session, and you want to choose with your client if you're able to do it. Relax. But I like to bring it down just to have the mind kind of just relax. relax. Fully take a deep breath. And release. There we go. So a little higher. And press down. Press down. Press down. And relax. Because I see that his percentage of pressure down, or counter pressure down, is kind of weakening, I say press harder, press harder. Okay, one more time, press down. And I also want to watch the whole entire body. Where is he trying to get strength from? He's trying strength here, he's trying here, and he's trying right here. Relax. Last one, okay? We're gonna go a little harder. Ready? Go, press down. Up. I'll show you, but he's going to show you the real result. Go ahead and do it. A little easier. A lot of it too has to do with his pants. They're a little too tight for him. But what I can see from that, from him engaging, he holds a lot here, and he's also using his upper shoulders to give him strength to pull up. And so that may also be a factor of why his hips and why his lower back may be painful and tight, because he's pulling from all of this area. But you learn that as you go on. It's not going to come back. It's going to come to you as you look at many clients and you see the differences. Because sometimes they use the opposite leg more, or they'll even press down into the table with their hands, and it's very obvious.
Training of martial arts.
Yeah, martial arts does it all the time. Yes. You can do it in many different ways, even with the ankles. So if you had issues with the ankles, go ahead and flex towards your feet, push them up, push one up, go. I can do it as well. Holding, holding, holding. So if you had tension or tightness in the ankles, relax. And so it's just resistance. So PNF, mainly counter resistance, basic stretching, counter resistance. Biceps as well. I would have him engage his biceps, so knowing the action, what helps engage the bicep would be flexion. So flex your arm, go ahead, flex it, flex, and relax. That was only less than 6 seconds because he's shaking. If the client is shaking way too much, yeah. I actually had this, and he's flexing to engage the bicep. So go ahead. I do put pressure here. Relax. And so if you had tension or pressure in the bicep, you can do that as well. So I'll have him do it this way where he pulls in. So you're gonna flex it this way. Go ahead and relax. Go ahead. So that's what you're gonna do, that movement. And just hold resistance. Go ahead. So you see the bicep. You can relax. And so he should be able to, it should lessen the contraction or the grip or whatever it may be in pain or whatever. Now you didn't have bicep pain, I'm just showing you. So anywhere else that you have any tension or tightness? No. So PNF, maybe basic, just basic stretch but resistance. So counter action. For you as therapists, you're giving resistance to that stretch. Neck as well. Neck. If he had resistance, if he had neck tension, I would have him, let me get better in this. Go ahead, and so his objective or his idea is to bring his head to the center. I'm going to pull it laterally this way, and so you're putting pressure to the center. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. He is very tense and he's shaking a lot. So if that is too much for him, I slow it down and maybe do a slow 5.
Especially that.
So, okay, relax. I'll tell you when. Yeah, I'll tell you when. Ready? Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. So he should be able to get better range. A little bit less, right? Yeah. Same thing with this one. So learning your basic stretches is really crucial to the PNF. Press down. I would go that way, but I'll just hold it this way. And relax. There you go. So it should give. Another way to give more, come further out, have your head floating off the table. This way. This one you want to be careful, just have a stool for you, especially if you're having some shortness or tightness along here, along the clavicle. This definitely helps, so pull up your head. Go ahead. And relax. And you should be able to drop even further. So you want to support. I would remove this, I would be on a stool and have support for him. But that would be for cervical. Same thing, you can bring it down to the lateral angle, to the right angle, depending on what you're really focusing on. Okay, scoot down. All the way down. Sit up here. Okay, one more. I'll do the last. So pick up your hand over your head, just like this. Just pay your attention here. On top. So his idea is to bring it down. I want him to bring it down. I'm gonna hold it. Go ahead and press down, down, and relax. And we're gonna try to loosen up this whole area to see where. One more time. Press down. Press down. Where are you having? He's pressing against my hand.
Oh.
So he's just bringing it.
Oh, you're doing a stretch towards the pecs.
Yeah. And then relax. And that should be a little easier. Anywhere, any way or direction, this is where you know your ranges of motion with stretching. And then you're counteracting the opposite. So if I'm trying to get his triceps, obviously he's going to push back this way, biceps up, flexion. But there's other ways to engage certain muscles that would. So even if I'm doing this, I'm engaging probably like 6 different muscles, right? Engaging here, engaging back here, different types of muscles. And I'm putting pressure and he's just doing a motion and resisting. So that is a little bit more advanced stuff. This is because you're not isolating one, you're engaging a bunch. Okay. That would be basic PNF. So PIR, the difference is that we are going into breathing. I'm going to wash my hands and I'll go over PIR. This one's okay? Okay, go ahead and get on this. So PIR, the client is going to hold their breath. It's going to create relaxation. The idea is to create relaxation. What's the most bothersome issue?
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
And this band right.
Your IT band?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do IT band. Choose a side that hurts you the most. Right? So on your side. So you're facing one side. There you go. So this can be done also sideline, any way that you want to engage. So I'm going to have him come back like this. So this is engaging not only the IT area, but it's engaging the quad and hip and glute. So just pulling back, just simply like that. His idea is to pull forward, so kick up, just like that. Don't pull me completely, just enough resistance, okay? Do you have any pain right now? So the thing is, I'm gonna take him to as far as I can go back, so right about there, but I'm gonna go a little less, so he's in a relaxed state. As he's pulling forward, he's holding his breath as well for up to 10 seconds. So you're gonna go ahead, as I say go, you're holding your breath, okay? And I'm gonna do a countdown. Ready? And go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And he should be getting further every time off the thing. I didn't do an assessment, so you didn't get to see if anything has changed, but I'll go assessment off his body and how it feels. We're gonna do it one more time. Do it up to 3 to 4 times. Same thing, you're gonna hold your breath, and starting now, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to give resistance, okay? You need to pull forward.
He pushed in this side?
Yeah, he needs to kick up forward like
No,
that.
okay.
So this is what I'm really attracting is the top. This top hip to really loosen up this TFL, and then it will slowly release the IT down.
So pull forward.
Yes. Ready?
And
So
then
when
don't
you start
forget
pulling
to sit
forward, hold your breath. Ready? Go. Hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Up and down. You feel any tension or tightness as I'm pulling?
Yeah, right.
On my hand.
So every time he holds his breath, then you come back and pull a little bit back to assess.
I assess.
And then
Yeah.
again,
Yeah. There's variations in not assessing, but I do it because I want to see movement. So I could assess in the end or all through the whole time, and I do it during the whole time. This time I'm gonna have him bring this leg like this. Bring this leg here. Trying to figure out a way. Actually, I'll have you face up. And then I'll do, I'm gonna divide this, we're going to leg this way, okay? So you do that first. Show me.
Right. Well,
Yeah. So he's pretty flexible. If I give resistance and pain in areas of tension,
right here.
right here. So we're trying to really focus this location. Just get comfortable. So I'm going to start by bringing him into that stretch. I'm going to go kind of a little full force, but then back up. He's going to bring it back to the table. So this is bringing the action is actually kind of a rotation. So he's doing this, trying to bring it back. So he's trying to pull away from me, and I'm giving resistance. So at the same time, you're going to go to relax. And so I'm kind of just going to keep it in a more comfortable position. You're going to do contraction. You're going to push towards that area. So hold your breath. Hold and go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. So I could bring it in even further, or I could bring it down and bring it back up to this part. So every time he's getting a little less, the breathing does help, but it's not really engaging a lot of this section. You still feel it there, right? Yeah.
Clean up.
Same thing, hamstring. I'm
No,
not
no.
going to bring it to the highest point. I'm going to back down and then allow him to hold his breath.
sure?
Press down.
It's like it.
Press down. This is not the right angle for me because it hurts me. So I'm going to
he's holding his breath.
He's holding this?
He's holding his breath. It's a
press
penis.
down.
This is different. Only this one?
Release your breath. What action hurts the most? What action hurts the most when you have the IT damage?
Well, I'm gonna go this way.
When you go opposite this way?
I prefer forward.
Like that?
Yeah. I usually.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to do it this way. I may have to go on to the other side just depending on how I'm supporting myself. So for this one, you're gonna press straight out. You're gonna kick out, okay? Ready? Hold your breath and press. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your breath. Slow your tension.
Right.
And it drops.
Yeah.
His is probably really deep in there, and it's going to take multiple different directions to stretch it. So I'll try to figure it forward. Huh? It would, but a lot of it too is it's up on the top. So
Yeah, that's
right here, yeah. So I have to get actually rotation of the abdominal as well. So this is nothing, right? It doesn't even feel pain. It's when he crosses over. So go back on your side again. So.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you get it comfortable. Oh, there you go, just like that. Does that bother you?
No, it feels good.
Okay, so you're gonna hold your breath. And
now?
yeah, the idea is to bring yourself forward, okay?
Okay.
So he's gonna do mostly the upper body pull. So it's rotating his body. Go ahead and pull forward, hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax.
Oh.
Be adjusted. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is similar to PNF, but they're holding your breath. And you just want to, instead of taking it to the furthest point, you want to take it to the first point, but back out slightly so that they have enough room to contract and give counteraction. Because if you take it to the furthest, they're going to contract and their breath is not going to be able to be held for a very long time. So sometimes what I do is I take it kind of a little bit off the direction of how to do it, and I get them into that stretch. I tell them they're going to go back into this way or turn into another direction. And then I have them slowly kind of just give them the idea, train them that they're going to do this motion. So I'm going to go ahead and hold, give resistance, and I'm going to have Demetrius hold his breath and pull forward. Pull forward, pull forward, and relax. And I can let him drop, and then bring him back, and then assess again. How do you feel with that? The thing is that I could change the hand in different directions, and it's going to attack certain areas. So if I have him engage where this section is going to go towards here, so you're going to curl in if you're able to do that. Are you able to go in just like that with a curl? Sometimes doing an exercise even helps too.
So I'm going to pull forward?
Yeah, you're going to pull forward. And I need to give a position of hold so he has that full stretch. Go ahead and go pull forward, hold your breath, make sure you're holding your breath. And relax. That one I'm not going to take very far in 10 seconds just because I can see his abdominal. I can see back here that it's engaging. I don't want to affect anything back here. How's that feel?
Good.
One more time. We're going to do it one more time on this side. Go ahead and do the pull and hold your breath. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Release. And then I'll also do rotation to kind of see if there's any pain, any tension going on. Okay. Now I gotta assess this part again.
Yeah, that's loose. I can feel it.
You still feel it?
That feels loose.
Feels loose. So sometimes you have to do the whole entire, you have to have more ideas of not just affecting one area. It would be easy if you just had it here, right? But he has it here. And what's going on, all we know as our anatomy and physiology and courses, what's going on in this section? It's one of the homes, it's a big joint. It's a joint of rotation, flexion, extension, all of the above. So, yep. So I have to make sure that it engaging this section, engaging this section, and engaging this section, especially when that pain is coming from here. If it was just simply here, a simple contraction of hamstring flexion or whatever it may be would be helpful. But because it's coming from this here, or if it was coming from here, it's going to be all different directions. So you got to remember your actions of the muscles.
Which one is better, or we have to?
There's no better.
No better.
It's whatever your clients try it on your clients, see which one you're good at, practice it. Because sometimes you are doing it and you forget to tell your client to breathe, and therefore it comes PNF. But make sure just normal.
Is that
PNF.
different?
There's no benefit. PIR is a little more beneficial in research, just because they feel the idea of holding your breath is a form of also having the muscle lose oxygen and blood flow, and contraction will stop for just so many milliseconds, and then the flush of it and the release of it allows it to really relax the muscle. So he feels a little bit more relaxed. Mainly, it could not be affecting here, but it could be affecting something that's going on in his chest and the tightness of his chest. So the breathing one is researched enough that it's effective. But the PNF one is just all around the board, something you can simply do. And they learn it in stretching, and they learn it in just basic stuff. So
And how long this is good for? How long?
For what?
Maybe come back. Coming back.
It's something that you want to throw into your session, especially if you're doing more sport oriented or injury oriented. It's something also, I would say, in order to really get full range, it's going to take 2 to 3 sessions.
But
yeah.
normally,
you can do it like if you had an event or sport event, it's good to do. It just depends. Normally, yeah, just like any kind of modality, it's going to take a few sessions.
I'm sorry, you said before in sport?
Huh?
You said before in sport events?
In sport events?
Before?
Yeah, before or after, depending on what you're doing.
Recovery or?
Yeah. So PNF can be done in the beginning, as long as the sport is not like they're automatically going to jump in. PNF is good to release the muscle from the morning. If they just woke up and they're ready, do it early, hours before the section. If they're about to get off your table and run, or get up, don't do it. If they've done it early morning, that would have been fine. And usually they do it themselves, or usually they do some sort of stretching themselves.
So what happens, let's say they're playing football and they got injured.
Don't do
Like
it.
they miss out the game and then they come out and they assess.
They can assess, you can see if it's just cramping. Cramping you can alleviate with PNF. Because cramping, you hold, it's going to be painful, but you hold that cramped area and you have them kind of wiggle or move around their ankle, and it's going to release, or just put direct pressure on for cramping. I want to show you something, a combination. It's breathing, it's PNF. You have sciatic issues? Okay, so Demetrius, he is a bigger guy, so it's going to be a little harder to demonstrate, but this is how I work, my method in muscle energy technique of releasing hips, glutes, IT, sciatic issues. So stand up. This is early stages of assessment for you guys. Turn forward. Turn. I'm going to show everybody. Okay? So, let's pretend Demetrius came in with sciatica pain and tightness of his hips. What is mostly the most effective? Is right or left?
Right.
Okay. Well, just looking at him, let's look at him. Stand up normal. Look at him. Look from head to toe. What do you see? Walk around him if you need to. Push this.
This side looks lower, like more like just right. Lift.
Yeah, so he typically has right side issue. By telling you guys, he does have right side issues. This is a big key factor. Yeah. This is a big key factor. And this is a big key factor.
it's here.
You can barely see it because of the pants, but it is lifted a little. Then as we go down and we see the feet, are they at a normal angle, or are they laterally
Right.
out, or are they medial inward, outward?
Like video, huh?
You can tell if definition of ankles are different. This is kind of things that you will be learning in assessment and clinic. So going through the entire body.
Okay, after class
looking,
going to hospital.
examining
Can I see
around. No, it's okay. I don't know. So touch your toes.
Sorry, what's the problem of?
It would be his feet were just outward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, they're rolling inward.
So touch your toes together. Normal. He's a good flexion. He has good flexion. Any pain? Nope. No. So touch your toes, but put your hands up in the up to the ceiling, so high up in the air like a big tree, and stand up. Take a deep breath, and release, and go all the way down to your toes. So, any pain, tension, pull? I mean, okay. So a little bit of hamstring, a little bit of patellar tightness. That's okay. The only thing is okay, so my test is to get him to touch his flat hands to the floor. We'll see if we can do that. Go ahead and stand up. Typically, if someone were to come in and they can barely touch their hands to the floor, my goal is to at least give them enough length and strength to get to the floor, at least fingertips, right? If he's already kind of has a hyperflexion in his hips, he's good on his hips. He's not having severe tightness, but he does have hip issues and sciatic issues. So this simple one is touch your toes again, holding that, giving resistance. This is PNF, giving resistance. So when you're going to come back up slightly, no bounce, go ahead and push, and relax, and then touch your toes. And so each time he's going to get further. Simple. P and F. When I want to add to the PIR, go ahead and stand up. You're going to put your hands in the air. When you go down, you're going to hold your breath. So, and hold your breath. Don't let it out until I say. Okay. So go ahead. And I'm going to give resistance. Press up against me. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. And relax. And then release your breath as well. Hopefully see, that's how you can tell which one is more beneficial for him, at least. Other people may get different. Okay, so that's simple. PIR, PNF, lower back pain. Sometimes your clients are not able to do that, and so you have to take them to the table and then lay it face up. I need a lot of space on this. Go ahead and relax. I'm going to give a pull. This is, chiropractors do this a lot where they measure your foot to see which one is longer than the other. So go ahead and take a deep breath and release. And I'm going to see, and you guys will be able to see as well, which foot is longer than the other, which foot is taller or shorter, if there's any.
Oh, wow.
Relax. So you can see which one. I'm going to kind of give him an even space to make it even without adjustment, right? My work is not adjustment. My work is muscle energy technique. So the idea is to get his knees up, both knees. Give me some bridges. Give me about to the height, 3 bridges. So pelvic up. 1, 2, 3. Anything down. Okay. So it's pretty good. Nothing really. That's the rest of it.
I go all the way up.
Show me. Okay. Any pain as you do that?
This is fine.
Okay. So lower back. That's fine. So PNF, PNR, PIR mixed in a combination. He's going to do some breathing. Some of it's just resistance. So as he's like this, I've had him do the bridges already. I'm going to bring both knees up to the chest as far as he can. And then I'm going to lengthen his legs out, just like this. Another assessment to see if anything changes. No, still a little higher on this side, on this toe. Back up, knees back up. Just relax right there. Here's the PIR part. You're going to squeeze my hand. So squeeze my hand, engage, but you're going to hold your breath. You're going to hold your breath for 6 seconds, okay? We're going to do this 3 times. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax and hold your breath. There you go. Then I'm going to, because I want to switch it up on you, I'm still going to do it 3 times, but I'm going to switch it up. On this one, you're going to pull apart for me. Go ahead, pull apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax.
I guess his must be engaged right on the outside.
It's overall holding. Ready and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. We're on our second time. This is the second time of this. Go ahead and go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Last time on this one. Go ahead, press in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. One more time. And pull apart. 4, 5, 6. Release the breath. Now that part is done. You're gonna go forward. Press forward and pull out. And hopefully that just kind of changed something in a sense. We're getting him a little closer to level. A little closer to level. Let's put this together. So slightly. But he's still good. And so now to better assess, bring up your knees and show me a lift. Lift up again, a bridge.
A bridge?
A bridge. And how does that feel?
Good.
No pain?
No.
Okay, relax your hands. Go one more time. Okay, that's good. And now stand up. Off the table slowly. Do a squat.
Huh?
A squat. Any lower back pain?
No.
Up. Touch your toes.
For me, yes.
Slowly. Any pain?
No.
So that is just the overall like combination of what you could do with engaging the abductors, the flexors, all of the above on the area. So that's pretty combination.
What are some more records there? Another one where you shoot in, and then the one where they're running, and you have to like go up.
Yeah.
Is there any
The other one would just be picking up, kind of doing that piriformis stretch. That would be something, getting them on their stomach and doing some sort of pigeon. But that one is mainly done themselves, kind of. You can't really put the pressure except for on the hips. But yeah, those two are really basics for those. As for engaging the abductors, yeah. It just depends on the flexibility of your client. So most likely they can really. The pushing together and holding is the only thing they can do for the most part. But if they're hyperflex, it's hard because you have to really kind of steady.
My nephew has arthritis, and his mama's telling me, well, they told him never walk again, but he's now in flexible to walk.
So I'm thinking of another one, pin and stretch. Simple pin and stretch because we're doing all the more advanced stuff. So pin and stretch is just simply pinning an area of tension. So Hyman, can you keep this table so I can show on Hyman?
Real quick, there's this weird thing about being able to stretch more when you have like
Also has been trademarked by active release. So they call it active release, but pin and stretch is similar. We can do pin and stretch without certification. If we do active release and state that we're active release therapists, we have to have active release certification. So it's one of those modalities that kind of, here you go, but if you want active release on your title, then you gotta go to active release sessions. So pin and stretch can be anything from holding down. You wanna have a location that it's bothering them. This is not just basic stretching. This is actually pinning down a tension or tight or tender area or location and having them stretch the muscle. So let's say he had pectoral issues. I would simply pin down with fist, palm, thumb, whatever it may be, and take the arm into inner, outer rotation, outward rotation, flexion, extension. Simple as that. I'm not stretching, I'm not pulling, I'm just putting it into a motion, a range of motion.
And that's why it looks like.
Not trying to lift, no, not trying to lift, just pinning down that area and giving a motion or having the pan go into a motion. Go on your stomach. So that's simple for the shoulders. Pin and stretch can be done anywhere because you can also do it on the back. So if I pin, say he had some thoracic region erector tension, I pin here and I stretch. Pin here and I stretch. So anywhere that I can have, that's also pin and stretch. Pin and stretch for the hips and glutes. Pin, bring his knee into flexion, And inward, outward rotation, pin and stretch. I'm still pinning this section. If I need more because his glutes are really strong and hard, I can bring it into my elbow or forearm, pinning down that section and stretching or taking it into ranges of motion. You okay, Hyman? Sorry, I just So, this one can be done slowly or it can be done a little quicker sometimes. So I can give more movement, more. You'll see sometimes when someone's trying to engage or relax the hamstrings really quick, they do more of this because they're trying to send blood flow through. But when I release more, they'll hold the hamstring like this. You can do this through the whole entire hamstring. Pin, stretch, pin, stretch, pin, and stretch. Other than that, those are like the main ones. You can just anywhere that you're holding down a muscle and you're stretching, that is considered pin and stretch. So that's the easiest one. These are the easiest ones to do. Anywhere you want to see. Anything else? And you guys kind of did that one. You guys kind of already been doing that one. Yeah.
I see somebody again give a face, stretch the torso. So like executive person. What's the thing? It's not too much.
You do a yoga ball. Yeah.
Sorry.
It would be the same as pulling the person halfway off and pushing them down. Yeah. Yeah, because in order to give it's not a flexion, it's more of a hyperextension, right back, extending. So if you give that, you have to have some gravity pull. So you have to be off the edge, you have to be on a ball, you have to be on a foam roller, because we do it on a foam roller, you can do that. Some sort of movement. I guess if you provide like a foam roller on the table, you can do that, but you can have them pull up, like a lot of pull-ups, doing like a cobra. That could be done. And go ahead and do it again. And I can give resistance down like this. That can be done. And you can press down, you know, stuff like that. That could be PNF, that can be relax. You can do that as well. So kind of think yoga stuff, think of things that are trying to broad. I always say yoga because yoga has so many stretches that you can put into it. And they're more advanced stretches to simple stretches. So it just depends on what you're looking into. Other than that,
Sorry for knee. We can do that. Put it here and
for knee as well, yes.
Mhm.
So go ahead and put that. Simple pregnancy. These are nice pins. This one is not always commonly done, but you can do it. You can just simply pin and he can flex, move them. So also, sorry, with pin and stretch, you can have the client move or you can passively move them in. So actively is him moving by himself. I just got an accent right now. Him moving, actively move, so he can actively move. So you're going to kick out or kick up, and he's actively moving up and down. I'm pinning down both sides of his knee, and he's actively moving. Or I can do it if I'm activating one side, pinning, I'm passively moving him. So this is passive. So whenever the therapist is moving the person, you're passively moving the client. If you have them doing it themselves, they're actively moving it themselves. So I think that was the confusion. I think that some of you guys have some of the questions.
Yeah, well, on the class I had both were passive or active. No, it was the patient and the patient doing both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you guys got two extra points.
Trick question.
When I make them, I pull, Dr. Sonny gives me a big old bundle of them, and I just pull, and so he has, I'm assuming that they're right, or they're spelled right and stuff, so I just pull and paste, and so I'm like, oh man, I didn't go through it, so if I didn't have time, sorry. But you guys got two for you bonus points. Other things too, pinning and stretching, so if I pin down his hips or glutes here, pull up your leg into a stretch like that, go ahead. That's another thing. And then relax. And up. Same
This is
thing.
for?
So more active
This is for
movements
what?
for therapists. So I do
No.
a lot of things that say, oh, my wrist hurt, my hand
Oh, this
hurts.
is problem.
And I need to do a quick kind of assessment or movement. You're gonna go like this to me. Supination. This is supination, or serving the soup. Pronation. Supination, active release, this is pin and stretch, not active release. I'm not active release certified. I'm going to have him open and close, close and open, open and close. Ready? Go ahead, close, open. I'm gonna move down. So pin can move. Go ahead, close and open, close and open. This is for very tight forearms. Close and open. As I get here, I'm going to be a little bit more gentle because it's going into the wrist and nerves and open. Sometimes what I do is also the handshake, in which I'm working more of the erector or flexors all the way down, and I find a spot and I'll hold and I do a handshake or turning of the knob. So one, I can move it or I can stay. I can move it or I can stay, depending on what I'm really working on. Same thing with this one, flex and extend. You can do all sides and all angles. Same thing, flex and extend if the open and closing. The open and closing is activating certain muscles. The flex and extend, activating certain muscles. Similar, but certain muscles or certain locations. So that's a good one as well. Pin, the whole palm, flex your fingers or extend your fingers. That's you can also do on the hand. And relax. Do it again. So if they have tension, carpal tunnel, that's a good one to relax. Same thing with arm, pin. He can bring out biceps or bicep curl. Same thing. Pin and he's actively moving. Just relax. And my thumb can't really hold that long because his muscle's engaging, so I have to find other ways to hold. So if you can't hold, press down directly, you can grasp the area or grasp the area for your own strength and hold and go ahead and open and close. You just open and close.
Do we flex from the bicep one?
Or you just have them go up and down. I haven't flexed, so whatever the bicep can do. Range of motion, any range of motion. So even I can have him do internal outward rotation. So he can do that, and I'm still pinning the muscle, and it's still activating. So I'm still, say he had a tender point or a location in this section, I'm still pinning, and he's working in a different angle. Okay, stop, and now you're going to flex and extend. So flex your hand, your forearm. There you go, flex and extend, flex and extend, and now internal rotate, pull your hip, and then out. So those are all, you know your ranges of motion, and that's going to help you out. Okay, anything else?
What was the one you were doing on the side?
The handshake?
You had his hand like this.
Oh, so if your fingers are getting sore and tired of pinning, you can pinch. Pinch and movement. So pinch and stretch. So pinch and flexion, extension. If your thumb is not powerful, like mine can be sometimes, or if you don't have enough strength, you can hold that area like this and still give that same. Okay.
So, where specifically was the one where you were having him do this for if he has 10 minutes?
It's carpal tunnel, but so carpal tunnel is going to be from here to here. I simply pin in the pad of the hand and have them flex and extend the fingers. Sometimes that provides them to show where it's coming from. So that will show me it's coming directly there. Working in this whole area is great for carpal tunnel, especially therapists. Many therapists get really tight in this section, but working all in that section is good for mediators.
Cross fiction. Cross fiction. Cross fiction. And we can use the cross fiction, huh? Cross fiction.
You can do cross fiction in there, yeah.
So for the PNF and prayer, are they safe to do, like for the hips and the lower back for prenatal massage?
Prenatal, I say the breathing with caution and if it's okay by the doctor, because the breathing and holding of the oxygen may affect also the fetus or the baby itself. just as long as they're not also, they need to be careful with abdominal stuff. So I've done TNF on prenatal, just like not in a more like give me a full contraction or give me a full, just more of like kind of just to loosen up. Okay, so there's ways to lessen it, especially if you have a client that is maybe older and they can't get to a certain level. There's ways to kind of just slowly get in there. Don't push it to more than 3 to 4 times that you're doing it. Because, I mean, obviously you don't want to injure it, but especially with the ladies, you don't want to overstretch their abdominal muscle. So they're probably already stretching it out, and some will come to you with pain in that section. And so if that is the case, then don't do it again. Because you don't want to overstretch. I have a lot of prenatal that come, they do yoga, they do the things, and they do somewhat of that. So you want to just kind of, it just changes per person.
Especially if the muscle already looks
Yeah.
right when it's like that.
Yeah, yeah. I find PNF or any muscle energy is really great for obviously athletes and people that are doing lots of hiking or lots of active movements, but also helpful for those everyday warehouse workers, those everyday people that just are not flexible. It gives them, forces them to get into a flexion. So to them, they're having an advanced therapy session of stretching, and they don't do stretching at home. So they come to you more often because they know that you know how to stretch them, and they feel better. So that's kind of a win-win, and also unfortunate because it messes with your work when they go back home and they don't see you for a month or a week, and then they come back all tied up again, and so you have to release them. But they pay for it, so
Right?
so it is a good thing to have added to your thing, especially if you, I mean, warehouse workers, anybody on their feet, anybody, even in a computer, you can do a lot of upper body kind of stuff, stretching and lower back stuff will help. But you want to kind of win them over in the sense that teaches them like the stretching is really good for you. You should try it at home. But what's the chances that they're actually going to do it at home? You can give them papers and you can give them things like they're not